From the worst team in the comp in the Eagles to the best team in the comp in the Pies. And Cornsey, while you're running hot, they put the foot down when they needed to, but they do give the opposition a chance, the Pies.
Yeah, they do, Scoop. But so this is they give you a shot. They don't bury teams. They've had a couple of reasonable wins, but we're looking at it here, and we all speak about their record in close games. But I wonder, Lordo, if you'd love to see them bury Adelaide by half-time. We were texting at half-time and think this game's only going one way, but they hadn't put Adelaide away.
Yeah. I do think so. I agree with you. I think Port Adelaide's form has been pretty commanding in the way they are absolutely burying sides, Sam. How do you view it in terms as a coach? Do they give you a chance? Their records are phenomenal, but they never seem to be able to win big.
I think it's very, very difficult. When I saw on the run sheet that we're going to try to pick holes in what Collingwood are doing, I thought we're going to find it tough, because I think they've got a great system. They play to it. They're so confident in it late in games, and they have had a couple of big wins, but not as many as you would think for a side that's up the top. But I think that the way that they're going, I don't think I'll be one to pick holes in it.
Who's the best side you played this year?
That's a good question. I think it would almost be Sydney in round 2 if you go back far enough, and Freo over there. They're the two teams that have given us a genuine.
Do you watch it with a lens though that, like, where are they gettable? And if we were coming up against them in a big game, how would we go about getting them?
Yeah, I think you watch every game as a coach thinking how you would get them. And I mean, I optimistically watch every team and think, okay, this is where you might be able to get this side. Having the players who can execute that, because you're not just scouting one team, you're scouting every team. So you're looking at how to pull apart every opposition, and you also want to keep your own DNA. I think their system is pretty consistent, and all the good teams have that, but all the good teams get beaten every now and then.
Now, bear with me as we're striving for perfection, because Darcy Moore's been extraordinary, clearly in the All-Australian
You're not
frame.
going after Darcy
No, I'm
Moore.
not going after him, but I think it's an area he can look to. So Taylor Walker is well beaten in the first half. After half-time, I was looking at Moore to go, right, Walker's the one that is going to get Adelaide back into this game, and I wanted him to go and take responsibility and say, all right, I'm going to put my hand up to go across to the opposition's best player and put him away. And he was unable to do that in this instance. Now, some of this is luck and good ball use and all of that. Some of it he was beaten by a better player. But is that an issue for him where he does give the opposition's best forward a shot? And to look at some of his numbers, and some of his numbers are really good. So he's been involved in 34 one-on-one contests this year, 22nd in the league. I'd love to see teams make that a high percentage, put him in more one-on-one duels. His win-loss ratio is very good, 7th in the competition, but he's conceded 27 goals, which ranks 5th worst in the league for key defenders. So he's aggressive, and we get the positive aspects of his game. But like Collingwood, I reckon he gives you an opportunity.
I think some play assertive. He's assertive, and I think if there's the ball, if there's pressure on the ball, there's none better. It's probably a lot like Sicily, maybe Sam at Hawthorn. But the moment they lost control of the ball, obviously they're going to catch some of those guys out.
I think a player like him, he relies on some other aspects and the system of what they use. I think what you don't see in those statistics is how many goals he's created. Yeah. So, with his flair and his marking, and then he takes off, I think he would have created a lot more than 27 goals.
It was some of the less lights, Cornsey, wasn't it, that got Collingwood over the line on the weekend, and Craig McRae valued as much when he was interviewed after the game.
It's not a one-off, it's a pattern of behaviour. But I must admit, there's a butcher's queue for who wants to get involved and make us win. They're all lining up. They all want their turn. They get their opportunity to have their moment, or that that inspirational act. There's so many of them. As we go back to them, I'm looking forward to putting those together in a little bit of a package to say, hey, you got to get through this to beat us.
And we've done a little bit of that package here tonight. So Quainer, these efforts are unbelievable, some of this stuff. So Quainer, there, his second effort, his ability. Look at the time, 5 minutes ago in the last quarter, critical stage, he does that, turns the footy over. And Mitch, this from Noble. Watch how fast he is running and the speed that he is running at. How do you reward efforts like this? And how do you celebrate performances and defensive acts like that?
Yeah, I went and watched Collingwood a couple of weeks ago live, and I actually thought Noble was so significant in the way that they play, the energy that he creates in it. And I think as a coach, a lot of what you're doing is rewarding things other people don't see, and I'm glad that we show a few of those things on this show tonight. But as a coach, everyone sees the marks and the goals and all those things, so you don't really need to reward them, but the chases and the tackles and the little things that go a long way. I'm sure Noble is one of their favourite teammates at Collingwood.
It's not often you lose and you sort of gain more credibility as a club, but I think the Adelaide Crows did that yesterday, and I thought they played with hardness and they play with dare, and that's why they're playing really good football, and they've had a couple of down weeks too, but I thought what they took away from Collingwood. At the moment, it's 20 points. They go on and kick the next 7 goals after this, but he sees Mason Cox there. This guy's playing a phenomenal football, Jordan Dawson, the captain of the footy club, but they were smart. So they never blazed away. They sort of caught Murphy and Darcy Moore and these types out where they just didn't blaze away and give height to the ball. They lowered their eyes and went with tempo with the way they used the football, which is outstanding performance by the Crows, and did everything bar win that game of footy. And I just wanted to highlight how good they've been with their recruiting. So these aren't just players you get in. This is cream players who can change your football club. So Dawson has been wonderful for the Crows. Rochelli's all class, Rankin class. Michael Aney, I don't know as much about Kane. And if they can land Redmond, that can improve them another couple of spots next year.
So Mitch,